What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down my high school film. So we're going to be talking about some mistakes that I made on my highlight tape, some mistakes on certain plays that I've made, different situations, breaking down some coverages, some plays that we had in our high school playbook. So I hope this is able to give you guys some value. Hope you guys are able to learn something from this and take home some stuff from this. So this first example here was a play early on in my highlight tape that honestly, showcases a couple of things that are good for quarterbacks to showcase, especially if you're an undersized quarterback, because that's me right there, where I played quarterback in high school. And if you're an undersized quarterback, you have to be able to extend the play, right? You have to be able to buy some time. You have to be able to throw on the run. You have to be able to do all kinds of things like that. You have to have a quick release. So this was actually a bad read by myself, kind of probably rushing the play. Maybe we were trying to work the right side. I'm not exactly sure why my eyes started to the right side, but I was able to kind of avoid the rush and make a play. But it's actually a bad read, so we're going to kind of break down the play, the coverage, the passing concept that we're working. So I'm hoping it's able to give you some value. So on this play, most of them running back to the opposite side, take a three-step drop. My eyes, I feel, were in the wrong spot, but I'm able to avoid the rush and make this throw downfield and just kind of give this guy a chance. One thing I could say, guys, I was very lucky to have two receivers on the outside who were insanely tall and could both jump out of the gym. So a lot of times, they made me look very, very good because I could get out of the pocket and just essentially throw this thing above the rim. And for all you quarterbacks out there watching this, like if you got receivers like that, like your job is to give them a chance. Just put the ball in the vicinity. We like our guys better than we like their guys, right? Especially in this type of situation. So the play concept that we have here is we have our outside receiver running like a drag. We have our slot receiver running like kind of like a corner post. And then on the opposite side of the field, I remember the name of this play concept. We called it Kansas, which is where the outside receiver ran like a 10-yard speed out, and then the slot receiver ran like a 12-yard choice. Now, the footwork on this would be to just hit the 10-yard out, and then if this outside linebacker jump, or this would kind of be, would that be the strong safety? No, that'd be the outside backer. So if the outside backer jumped the 10-yard out, then you would throw the 12-yard choice to the inside. Now, maybe I didn't like it because it was to the short side of the field, but because it was like 2nd and 10, I probably should have been looking over here. But as I dropped back, see, my eyes were kind of in the wrong spot. If I would have just hit my third step and thrown this 10-yard out, we would have been 3rd and 2, and we probably could have ran the ball. But my eyes are looking to the right, literally for whatever reason. Now, the coverage that we have, this is a team that's called Edison. They're a team in Huntington Beach, California. And the high school that I went to is Los Alamitos, California. So this is obviously this is a big rivalry game for us. And they would always run. Literally to this day, this is like the only defense that they run. They run a 4-4 cover 3. So they got a single eye safety. This dude was a great athlete. I still remember that guy. Corners are dropping into their third. He's got the third. He has this third of the field. So there's no reason my eyes should be looking to the right at the corner post because there's a single high free safety. The drag ain't going to be there because we have the strong safety. We have the outside backer on the right side of the field, probably not hitting that. My eyes should have been to the left. My eyes should have been, I'm the third step. I'm throwing that 10-yard out and taking it. And if this guy jumps it, then I reset my feet and try to throw the choice. But my eyes are looking to the right for whatever reason. I get some pressure off the edge, so I'm able to step up and then maybe extend the play and make the play. But at the end of the day, that probably isn't the greatest read. So I would say my biggest piece of advice to you from this play is yes, this is great. Yes, this was a touchdown. And that was a big part of the game that I played, being able to extend the play, take off and run when I need to, throw on the run. And those are things that stand out to coaches, but sometimes you got to take the easy one, especially if you were trying to win. So I would probably, if I could do this play over again, take the easy one, but I can't really say that because we scored, obviously. But this is a good example of just what you should be looking for certain coverages and what works versus certain coverages, because against certain coverages, we got to take the easy one and take what they give us. Now, before we break down this second play, fellas, similar format. This is another touchdown. This is actually a good read that I made. But if you're a quarterback or wide receiver watching this video and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, we are going to be traveling, guys, to 8 more cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. Next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to Chicago, Illinois. Then after that, we are going to be heading out to Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing off our camp tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, if you want some more information, you want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. Our first 8 camps have completely sold out, including our Chicago camp, but we still have available spots and all of these camps here on the right column. All of them, guys, will sell out probably by the end of this week. We opened up a few more spots in certain camps because we had availability, but we limit spots spots for every camp, guys. Seriously, just because if we have a million people there, we can't work with you individually because we're on a time schedule and we limit spots so each athlete can get individualized coaching and individualized attention. So if you guys would like to do that, myself, my staff, I will be at every single one of these camps. Go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. We would love to have you out. Let's get to the second play. So the second play here, this is actually a good read. This is a good one, taking the easy one. So same game, playing again, Edison out of Huntington Beach High School. What do they come out in? They got a 4-man front. They got 4-4 cover 3 yet again, right? Corners are going to backpedal literally for years. Maybe not now. I train a couple guys that go to this school, and I should probably ask them. Literally every snap they're playing cover 3. Literally every snap. It was probably the easiest game to prepare for. They were just very, very good athletes. Like this dude was Division I level safety. This, like their defensive end right here, he was a Division I guy. Their quarterback was a Division I guy. They were always very, very good, right? So the play concept that we have is we have a comeback on the outside for my outside receiver. We have a comeback for my outside receiver right here. But what we have is we have like kind of like this like bender, and then our tight end right here is kind of not really built like a tight end, but he's playing a tight end here. He runs this like almost like kind of like wider seam route, if you will. So we're doing a play action fake, and we're trying to maybe draw that safety down, and we are reading the safety. The safety is my read. So if that safety drives on this like kind of like bender post route, we throw the seam route. If he widens with the seam route from our tight end, we throw the bender route over the top. So we're hoping that he bites down on that, especially because of the play action fake. So we see his play action fake, and then obviously the safety starts to commit his body language. I'm seeing that, but you see how guys, like one thing I will say, something that I felt I was pretty decent at as a quarterback was anticipating. Like when his body language starts to turn, that's when the quarterback needs to start releasing it. Because if we see him come down and then I have to set my feet and then throw, that's too late, especially at a collegiate level, right, you guys? So that's something that I feel like I give myself a little bit of credit for. I don't like doing that too often. But again, safety crashes down, ball's already out, and then we hit the seam. And again, even still, like kind of a tighter window because I naturally had a little bit slower of a release. A great job by Zach. That's a friend of mine, Zach Wagner, making a play and scoring a touchdown. But ultimately, that's the type of play that works well versus cover 3. I mean, like, you know, a weak point of cover 3 is obviously the sidelines. And so some of you might say, well, why didn't you throw the comeback? You know, honestly, this was probably by play design. That is what we wanted to work. And I remember this play was installed that week specifically for that. It's crazy that I remember that. And obviously, I'm not going to be throwing the comeback on the wide side of the field because that's a monster throw from the opposite hash. But again, you always want to isolate defenders. The seams and then the sideline is where we can do that versus a cover 3 defense. So obviously good read for you guys to see. Great way to be able to manipulate a single high free safety. Now, next passing concept here. This was my very first high school start, and this was against a team called Long Beach Poly, and Long Beach Poly was like the 7th ranked team in like the state at the time. Like they had all kinds of crazy athletes, but Long Beach Poly at the time, they're not that great now, but at the time they were known for being extremely undisciplined. And this is a good example of them being undisciplined on a play. Like they have just phenomenal athletes though, right? You guys, like this dude was like just a terror. I remember this guy, like there was one play where he hit me, like, all right, I threw an interception and he hit me after the whistle. And while the guy was still running, or not, he didn't hit me after the whistle, he hit me after I threw it. He grabbed my face mask and pulled me like 5 yards, like on the ground. Like, so like this dude was a menace. Like they had D1 guys. Like I want to say this dude was a 4 or 5 star. Safety was good. Like clearly when you look at us and when you look at them, they look like the better team. And we were still in it. I played horrible this game, but this was the first like pass of the game. So started out good, and we had a good first half. And the second half, I absolutely tanked. But we still stayed in there. But still, like again, this is a good example of what an undisciplined defense is like. So this is like they come out. It looks like it's kind of a weird variation of cover 4. Poly was a very, very hard team to prepare for because it was our first game and we didn't have a ton of film. And they're also like they're just such good athletes. So like they don't necessarily do everything by the book. Like you saw a team like Edison where everything was by the book, cover 3. So this is I would consider like cover 4, right? Like they have 2 eye safeties. These 2 safeties are very, very tight. It could look like cover 0, but they're not bringing pressure. It's just your basic, honestly 4-3 cover 4 defense. But we do like a play action fake, and our like tight end right here is running like a 10-yard out, and then our outside receiver is running a deep shot post. And the game plan was to take the shot post because we did know coming in that their safeties do like to play a little bit tighter, just based off of what we saw at like a scrimmage. We went and scouted one of their scrimmages. So we motion this guy across, do a play action fake, and then obviously you see that safety crashes down. right? Crashes down not because of the out route. I believe he's crashing down because of the play action fake. And then so I take a three-step drop, hitch up, and then throw this ball. Now, he's genuinely covered like it's a deep post versus inside leverage. But the thing about throwing a deep skinny post, you guys, is you could always throw your wide receiver open. Like he kind of takes like he ran kind of not the greatest route here, but he has inside shade like off man. What I would have liked to see him do is just go vertical and then just take it skinny, and we just take this over the top because it's a deep skinny post. But I think he was trying to like kind of stem the corner inside, like he probably should have just kept going, but the way we run our skinny post is to stay on this side of the hash. So I think he starts to stem inside, realize, oh crap, I'm going to end up all the way over here. So then he starts to cut back outside. But if he would have just stayed outside the whole time, he wouldn't have had to made this like crazy dive and catch. It was a hell of a catch, but I would just like to see him just run and take it over the top, because a skinny post, you guys, especially if we're throwing this thing to like, we're on the left hash, we're throwing this to the field, we want to keep it on the right side of the hash. So we take three-step drop, quick hitch, that safety crashes down. And again, guys, you put the ball where only your receiver can get it, and you put enough air to where he could go run it down. And this wasn't a monster throw. I mean, I threw this from what, like the 40, so 5, 10, 15, 20, let's see, 25, 30, 35, 40, like almost like a 45-yard pass. Like, you know, like, and again, it's not a monster throw. I'm not throwing it 60 yards, 70 yards. Like, you just get it up quick and you put it with enough air to where your receiver can go run it down. And that's the key there. So that's, again, a good example, guys, of just like, you know, an undisciplined defense who's got great athletes. And if we have a good athlete who could play with their athletes, again, like I said in the very beginning of the video, my job as a quarterback when you have good receivers is to give those guys a chance and let them go make a play.